I have delayed it long enough. Today, I want to rebuild the Denver Nuggets, even though the Peyton Watson situation is not resolved yet. And today, I think I'm going to paint the nightmare scenario for the Denver Nuggets. Even though this seems far-fetched, we're going to make Nikola Jokic request a trade in today's Nuggets rebuild. Before we get into today's video, YouTube does tell me about 55% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed or less than 200 subscribers away from 50,000. So if you want to help us reach that, that would be amazing. So if we take a look at the Denver Nuggets roster, it looks pretty good for the most part, but we kind of know that this team didn't go very far last year. They gave Christian Brown a really bad contract, and then they're just in a bad spot. Aaron Gordon really couldn't stay healthy last year. Jamal Murray has his health concerns. So in theory, this should be a playoff team, but if there was any chance that this team would struggle at all, it would be interesting to see, you know, would Jokic randomly, I don't think he would. Like, Jokic doesn't seem like the type of guy. But today we're going to make that nightmare scenario happen for Denver. We're going to be trading Nikola Jokic and resetting the Denver Nuggets, which sounds kind of absurd to think about, but that is what we're going to do today at the trade deadline. Not this offseason. So we are pretending that Peyton Watson signed somewhere else, I guess. I don't know, just to make this scenario even worse for the Nuggets right now, even though, like I said, as I'm recording this, that situation is not resolved. It would be my luck, though, that it finally does get resolved, and yeah, but thankfully we're okay for right now anyway, as I'm recording this. But let's go ahead and get into the rotation for year one. We kind of know what this team's going to be. Hopefully this team is just okay and decent, and they're not, like, you know, having a bunch of success, because I do want to paint the narrative that the Nuggets maybe just have hit a wall and they can't get past it. So that's kind of what I'm trying to paint today. So we'll see what happens in year one. Let's look at the rotation first. So Panic only has us at 19th, which actually isn't that high, all things considered. So you had Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, Marvin Bagley, Cam Johnson, KJ Simpson, Deron Holmes. So yeah, this team actually doesn't look anything special. I mean, they just signed Lonnie Walker to a one-year deal. They signed like this Diallo guy as well, so I don't know what he'll become, but yeah, I'm very interested, curious to see how this team is going to do. Obviously, with Jokic, this team should be good. I want to be a play-in team, I guess, the trade deadline. That's the hope, and we're going to make that be the case, hopefully, here with this roster not having a high power rank. Maybe that's a good sign, but we'll have to see. So, without further ado, let's get to the trade deadline, and let's trade Nikola Jokic, which sounds crazy to say, but hey, we are off to a poor start, so maybe that trend will continue at the trade deadline. So first ever this video has been accomplished. We are an under 500 team as a 9th seed in the West, so things aren't in the best direction right now. So the next thing to do is obviously to try to trade Nikola Jokic here and see what we can get. The reason why we're trading him right now is because obviously as a player option in the offseason, he turned down an extension. He said he wanted to talk about it next summer. I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. It's not really it doesn't mean anything, right? So someone could look at that and be like, oh, that's because he doesn't want to commit or whatever. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and throw Mr. Jokic in the trade finder just like we did with Kevin Durant, and let's see what offers we like. And we do got 9 offers here. So we're going to try to take the best realistic offer that puts us in the right path, you know, in a post-Nikola Jokic era. Maybe I tinker the trade a little bit with an override because obviously it's freaking Nikola Jokic. So we may not get the value we deserve in the trade finder. But you do have Miami giving us Bam and Bobby Portis, which I have no interest in. We have Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen from Utah, which is a little bit better, but still not really piquing my interest. Karl-Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby is definitely interesting, but I also don't like it because I feel like if we're going to rebuild, which we may not even have, I don't think we have control of all of our draft picks. So we really shouldn't be prioritizing like getting as worse as possible. We should try to stay competitive. So we've got to keep that in mind. Michael Porter Jr., yeah, Gordon obviously could reunite, you know, Jokic with MPJ, or reunite MPJ in Denver, but no. Zion and DeJounte Murray, I would feel bad for sending Jokic to New Orleans, and Zion, of course, is just someone I wouldn't. Scotty Barnes is definitely interesting, I guess. I know the Kawhi thing is going on. This definitely is my favorite one so far, I will say. If maybe the Raptors, I know Scotty Barnes is awesome, so I don't think they'd want to trade Scotty. But if they did want to pair Kawhi with Jokic, that could be kind of crazy in Toronto. That would be wild. So that is my favorite one. Kind of far-fetched, but I can kind of see it. No thanks to that one. LaMelo, no, and then Trae Young. So, yeah, by far and away, my favorite offer for sure is the Toronto one. I love it because it does kind of make sense in a way, like I said, for Toronto. If they get Kawhi, you know, pending the investigation and all that, you know, we get Scotty Barnes, who can help us kind of reset things, but we have a player to build around, and he can still keep us competitive. And IQ is not a bad throw-in by any means either. So I think we got to do this trade. Even though this trade is so far-fetched, this video is not even remotely realistic. So this is the trade we're going to do because it's the one I like the most. I'm going to see if I can squeeze a first out of them as well, just to make it just a little bit better. They say no. Okay, so no first round pick can be involved. And now they're not interested in the trade at all, but that's obviously because, you know, we know how this works. I don't know why it does that, but okay. So let's go back to it. And Jokic is officially not a Denver Nugget anymore. He is going to Toronto to play with Kawhi Leonard. So that is crazy. Pretty interesting trade. Pretty interesting shakeup. And yeah, Nikola Jokic is gone. So I feel like we should have gotten a first or whatever, but it's all good. So I'm going to move Colin Murray to the power forward position now since Jokic is over there. And that fixes that problem for them. And then I'll also give Jokic a lot of loyalty since obviously, you know, Toronto did just get him. So that way he doesn't just leave them. His loyalty is a 31. Damn, yeah, it's not very high. Okay, so we'll give him like an 80 loyalty and hopefully he stays in Toronto after they just traded for him. And we have Scotty Barnes. Now, we also could make some more shakeups here by trading away like Jamal Murray, which we'll probably have to eventually. But for now, I think he has multiple years left, so we can kind of wait on that. Is there anybody else we want to trade while we're here, though, is the question. So, Jokic is gone. In is Scotty Barnes, so we're now building around him instead. Aaron Gordon has, okay, so he has a couple years left, and Cam Johnson is an expiring deal. I wouldn't mind getting something for him if we can. So, like, the Bucks want to give me a first-round pick for Cam Johnson or Claxton. Definitely don't mind taking on Miles Turner's contract and getting a first-round pick. I don't hate that idea at all. But should the Bucks be getting up first? Probably not. That's the one argument I have. And that's the only trade that, you know, kind of interested me. Dyson Daniels. I guess if Atlanta wanted some shooting, maybe they think Cam Johnson would be better. We could have Dyson Daniels like Scotty Barnes. I don't hate it. Let's do it. Let's do that with Atlanta as well. So Dyson Daniels and Scotty Barnes are our two additions at the trade deadline, and I'll leave it at that. So definitely interesting. Got Aaron Gordon at the 5 now, but I guess we probably do need a center then. So let's trade Aaron Gordon maybe as well. Maybe a center pops out, or we'll see what we do. Claxton, I guess if the Bulls... Oh, Claxton's got 2 years left. Mitchell Robinson, no. If anything else makes sense. Gafford. The Mavericks wanted... Okay, I don't hate this. If the Mavericks wanted Aaron Gordon next to Cooper Flag, I could maybe see that argument. This gives us kind of a center to feel all right about. I'm going to do that trade as well. So we'll get Daniel Gafford. Clay's an expiring contract, and Gafford's going to make half the salary as Aaron Gordon. So that saves us money. So we'll do that. And there you go. So Gafford's not going to start. So the rest of the year, I don't expect to make the playoffs or anything, but we definitely could potentially hold on to a play-in spot. I also want to give Scotty Barnes a high shot tendency out of the gate here with him being the face of the Nuggets now. And we'll reduce Murray's just a tad bit. All right. Very bizarre trade deadline, but like I said, this video is not very realistic. So I will see you guys at the end of year 1. That was a wild trade deadline. I think we just barely snuck into the play-in tournament, which is not bad by any means. Here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, as Jokic actually... That's actually crazy. So he ruptures Achilles after we traded him to Toronto. That's actually kind of wild. So guess we lucked out in a way. Maybe he was going to get hurt this season. I don't know. But we are a play-in team out west as the 10th seed going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. If you take a look at the player stats, you had 24 from Scotty Barnes with 7 rebounds and 6 assists, and 14 from IQ, 11 from Schroeder, 10 from Klay Thompson, and 25 from Jamal Murray. Of course, my goal is to trade Jamal Murray this offseason because we can't pay IQ and Jamal Murray combined $80 million. Like, that's just something I can't get behind. So, let's see if we can beat the Lakers. We do beat the Pelicans as well. And hey, we're in the playoffs. Okay. Not mad at that. We'll take that. So now we can go see what we can do against OKC. I would imagine we probably lose, but would be kind of crazy if we upset them randomly. But they're up 2-1, 3-1. So we got game 1, but no, we lose in 5. Okay. Toronto, on the other hand, got them in the play-in. That's really unfortunate for them. But okay, so we got Houston making it all the way. Wow, I just did a Rockets rebuild. Pretty crazy they made it in the finals in year 1. But the Magic did end up beating them. So, Paulo Banchero is your finals MVP. Here are your retirements, and then we can go straight to the lottery. Let's make sure none of that's changing here. Okay, so I don't know if we had our first round pick this offseason. Maybe it would have been nice to tank this season. No, so the Thunder had our pick, so it's good we didn't, like, tank. I didn't think we did. But do we have our pick next year? I don't think we do either, but let me just double check. We do have our pick next year, so actually it wouldn't be the worst thing to be bad, but I don't think Scotty Barnes is going to make us bad. I think he's going to make us good. So that isn't really going to matter all that much. So I think we should, you know, continue to prioritize trying to win. Adelman, do I want to keep him? I mean, for now, I think we keep him because there's not going to be like a ton of options here. but he definitely is going to have to show me something next season, because we're still going to try to make the playoffs, I think, next year with having Scotty Barnes as our lead guy. It's not like he's 22 years old. He's already 25. And then we have Dyson Daniels and IQ. So I do like that quite a bit. Now I just need to make sure that whatever I give Jamal Murray is something we can build with as well. So with that being said, let's try to trade Jamal Murray. Let's see what we can get for him. And hopefully we can get something nice for him to continue to make this team younger and maybe cheaper as well. So I do like this trade with the Phoenix Suns where we get Colin Gillespie and Mark Williams. I don't want to trade a first in order to do this though, but I could definitely see, and actually I think in my last Suns rebuild, I traded for Jamal Murray to pair him with Booker, if I remember correctly. So I wouldn't mind doing this, but I do not want to trade a first to make this happen. So if I can get Mark Williams and Colin though, this saves us like $30 million, which obviously would be awesome if you're the Nuggets. So let's see if we can throw them, like, not Deron Holmes. Gafford's probably too much money. Anybody I can throw in here? Zeke Naji, I can't. Buddy Hield, and then yeah, they can't. Okay, so they really want my first, which is quite annoying because I do feel like this trade is more than fair without it. But if I threw my seconds in here, maybe, and then maybe if I, okay, so they want, okay, now we could, oh, they stole my pick. Never mind. That's still here, so that pick is still a problem. All right, so we are close, but not quite. And all right, so Jamal, I still want to do this trade in the worst way possible. They can't throw. Okay, so throwing a player in here is not going to solve anything, dude. I mean, I don't really want to trade my first. I'll trade my future first, even though I don't like doing that either. And yeah, whatever. So we got, I feel so stupid for doing that just to make that work, but whatever. We saved a bunch of money, so maybe you can make the argument that Murray's contract's bad and the Suns taking a bad contract. I don't know. Probably shouldn't have traded the first, but we kept our first out from next year. Yeah, I'm pretty mad at myself for that trade now I think about it, but whatever. We made it work, or made it. It's already too late. So IQ, Colin, and then Christian Brown, who obviously is making a ton of money as well. We'll have to see if we can do anything with him. But for now, I don't hate him as like a fine starting shooting guard if we have to roll with him. And then, but we did just save a bunch of money by obviously doing that. So pass the draft because we have obviously no draft picks. But Deron Holmes, I'm going to probably accept. And then Buddy Hield and Zeke Naji accept as well. Julian Strother will go ahead and look to bring back, and we'll see what we can get for him. So Strother, $6 million a year. Definitely want to keep him around. Has sometimes developed really well, and other times you just don't really know. So I'm going to announce the rest of these guys. And then I didn't know Buddy Hield was going to be on this team making 10. I guess he came from the Atlanta trade, didn't he, with Dyson Daniels, I think. But IQ and Colin, Brown, Buddy Hield, Strother, Daniels, and then Traven, and then Gafford, Deron Holmes, Zeke Naji. So I think I'll move Deron Holmes to a backup 4 role. We'll do that. And then I guess we need a backup shooting guard or a backup 3 to feel good about. Other than that, you kind of have your full rotation here for now. So backup shooting guards such as like a Shireman, or I guess like Kuzma. I'm not going Kuzma, but let's get, like, let's say we get Lou Dort on a minimum as a backup. You know, with him and Christian Brown kind of sharing that shooting guard rotation. Player progression, you're going to have Barnes up to an 89, Strother up to an 82. So I think Strother eventually becomes our starting shooting guard probably. And then Mark Williams is up to an 84. So that's good. And you got Zeke Naji, Buddy Hield regressing, Christian Brown, Colin, and Lou Dort all going down in overall. But okay. I like this. I think Scotty Barnes is going to have a lot of wiggle room to do whatever he wants. I don't hate IQ. He's a little overpaid, but I wouldn't mind if he was my starting point guard, just maybe for less money. But the $32 million definitely kind of sucks a tad bit. That's okay. We're not looking to win anything necessarily. Even if we're bad next year, we do have our first round pick, so it's not the worst thing in the world either. So if we were to struggle, at least we'll have our pick. But it does look as if maybe this team is going to be better, as Power Rank has this as 12th overall, better than what it was last year. So you have IQ, Lou Dort, Dyson Daniels, Scotty Barnes, Mark Williams, Strother, Colin, Gafford, Christian Brown, and Trey Mann as your rotation. So looks pretty solid. I don't hate that at all. And then one thing we can even do to try to make this team even better is, of course, as always, play that physical defense. We don't need to do the feed the post anymore. We can do play through star, and we can do average tempo, because obviously Scotty Barnes is going to be kind of the face around here. He's going to have the chance to just have a nuclear season. So we're going to give him as much as he wants. Scotty Barnes should be able to do whatever he wants with it. And I've simulated with him before, and he usually does pretty well with that role. So off to a great start. You may see my face at the trade deadline if it makes sense to make any kind of trade. But even with Jokic gone, guys, we are off to an incredible start. It is truly remarkable how much that play physical defense setting is just kind of OP. Because this team, I don't know if I should be sitting here saying, okay, 20-4, that's not surprising at all. It is quite shocking, to be honest, but here we are. So as you can see, this season is still simulating, and I mean, it's just incredible. We're literally about to win 60 games a year after we traded Nikola Jokic away, which is not something I expected by any means, but that is where we're at. So I hope Scotty Barnes is an All-NBA representative or even wins MVP, because this is just remarkable. And there it is. So Scotty Barnes, I have seen in the past when I've given him a high shot tendency, he plays really well with it. And yeah, absolutely took advantage of not having anybody to really take a lot of shots from him. So Scotty Barnes has become the face of Denver and has broken out here. Jordan Smith is Rookie of the Year. Jalen Green is your sixth man. Wemby is your DPOY. And Peterson's your most improved. Zion's your clutch player. And Adelman is your coach of the year. As we saw, we went 61 and 21. So pretty wild, pretty remarkable, and very happy for Mr. Barnes here. I wonder if Jokic stayed in Toronto. I hope he did. We'll see. So yes, he did stay in Toronto. So that's awesome. Because obviously they traded Scotty Barnes to get him, so they wanted, I don't know, would Jokic want to live in Canada? I'm not sure, but maybe he would. Not sure. But anyway, Dyson Dale's all-defense second team, unfortunately out, so that's going to hurt in the playoffs, but we'll have to wait for his return. We are the first seed in the West, and here were your player stats. So you had 31 from Scotty Barnes, 19 from Manuel Quickly. It's not bad to get IQ with 19 points per game. As we saw, Daniel's out for 2 to 4 weeks, and Schroeder with 15. Marklin's with 13 and 8. So pretty happy with these stats, but obviously what matters is how far we're going to go, even though I had no intentions of being, in a spot where we could contend this early. So whatever we get is pretty much a success. I mean, it's pretty remarkable where we're at. But game one against the Warriors, we're up 1-0. As long as Scotty Barnes is playing basketball, I think we have a really good chance of going far here. And we are going to sweep the Golden State Warriors. So I think and then Dyson Daniels is about to be back as well, which is big time. Now I get to play Dallas, which we did give them Aaron Gordon. So that could be interesting. They also added Tyler Hero. So not looking too bad in Dallas. Hopefully Dyson is back here soon, but not for game one. We do win game one and we blow them out on top of that. And we still don't have Daniels back. Game two goes to us. So that's 2 big wins in a row. I cannot believe how well this is going so far. We have not dropped a game yet, and we finally do, and we win in 5. So now we're going to play the Portland Trailblazers. Oh, we do have some injuries, but thankfully, don't get me wrong, it sucks to have Gafford and Collin out, but I'm just hoping, as long as Barnes is playing, I think we're fine. He's averaging 33 in the playoffs, 37% from 3, so he's playing really well. Game 1 against the Blazers. Let's see how this is going to go. So, game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us, and game 4 goes to us. Actually incredible. It's actually crazy. I cannot believe this is going so freaking well this early. I did not expect to win a championship in year 2 right after trading. Well, we haven't won. We got to beat the Magic first, but having a chance at it is wild. We're up 1-0. They even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to do we beat them in 6? No, game 7. Okay. All right, so maybe I should have been simcasting, but I was just kind of mesmerized by how well this is going. But we might actually blow a 3-1 lead here, so we'll see if we can kind of avoid doing that. And it looks like we have done so unless we blow a massive lead in the second half. But no, guys, just like that, a year after trading away Nikola Jokic, Scotty Barnes leads us to a championship already in this video. Pretty insane. Yeah, very wild. Did not expect that at all, but very happy that it happened. So now we have the offseason expansion. I guess the only thing to do now is to see if we can go back to back here. So of course, I guess it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world to trade this pick to Phoenix because it ended up being pick 32. So we really didn't need to worry about it, but whatever, we protected it. And Adelman, of course, has earned his job to stay. And now we go to the protection portion of this, as you're going to have everybody, but I think I'm going to unprotect Christian Brown. If somebody wants to take that contract on, you are by all means go ahead. So I'm going to unprotect Christian Brown, and hopefully they draft him. If they do, that's a win in our book because we don't have a salary anymore. And Christian Brown, are you still on the team? Nope, he's gone. So that saves us a ton of money. So that is awesome. Thank you, Seattle or Las Vegas, for taking him. And now we have we have the 32nd pick. That's right. So let's go see if we get something sneaky at 32. We got Darius late here, or we got like Scola. I think I am going to go ahead and take Scola here. So welcome out of Argentina. Welcome, and you're going to be a 70 overall. No player options to deal with, and then Deron Holmes is a free agent. We'll see on him. But we might have a little bit of money to spend. Nope, not quite. So nothing crazy by any means. Okay, so we have IQ, Colin as our point of rotation. No shooting guard, but as I mentioned already, Strother might be slid over there eventually, so it might be time to do that right now. So I guess we're just gonna go sign, like, I do see Norman Powell, which I would be all about him. So sign Norman Powell, and then I'll also sign Alex Caruso. Like, give me those two guys as your vets that you bring in. I think that's pretty solid to kind of solve that issue. And then power forward Naz Reid, give me that as well if he'll choose us, and he does. So that feels like pretty good. 3 bench additions to add on to what we already have. Daniel's up to an 87. Strother's up to an 84. So Strother is more than likely going to slide over to shooting guard, or Dyson. We'll see. I guess it'll probably be Strother, though. IQ is down 1 overall, so that's kind of unfortunate. Now, he is on the last year of his deal, so that's big time, because after this season, which will resign Mark Williams, IQ is not one to talk an extension, but if he wants to sign for like 17 million a year, I'd be happy to keep him. We bring in Norman Powell, which I don't know how much regression we got out of. No regression at all. So that's good. Naz Reid, no, nothing. So we're good. So we're gonna go into next season looking to go back to back. I didn't think, like I said, this was a possibility, but our goal is to hopefully bring us back to the finals and go for a 2nd championship in a row. So here is your rotation, as you have IQ, Julian Strother, Dyson Daniel Still, Scotty Barnes, Mark Williams, Norman Powell, Colin, Alex Caruso, Daniel Gafford, and Naz Reid. So, yep, I'm liking what I'm seeing quite a bit. So all that matters now is just simulating the season again and hoping we have, once again, another fantastic season. Obviously, everything depends on Barnes' health, if I had to guess. I feel like if he is down, then we are screwed. But if he is playing, we are good. So I will see you guys at the end of this season. We shall see. We could bring home 2 championships in a row. So far, we're a top 3 seed in the West, so maybe we won't have as strong of a season as last year, but as long as we can be the playoff team, we'll have a chance. The Jokic this time gets MVP for Toronto, so at least they got that going for them. Beckham Black is your Rookie of the Year. Scoot is your 6th man. Wemby is your deep boy, and Berlin Mullins is your Most Improved, and Tatum is your Clutch Player. David Adelman is your Coach of the Year. So here is your All-NBA first team. So we don't have Scotty Barnes All-NBA first team this time, so that's a little disappointing. And he is on All-NBA second team, so at least there's that. Average 27, not quite the 31 from last year, but still a good season nonetheless. And Daniel's hopefully on here again, not this time either. So hopefully we're fine, but we are the first seed in the West again. We did finish up with 60 wins again, so 62-20. Take a look at the player stats. You had 27 from Barnes, 17 from Norman Powell, so I think he was an excellent addition. And then IQ was 16, 14 from Strother, and then 12 and 10 from Mark Williams, 11 and 10. So pretty strong stuff, but let's go see how these playoffs are going to go. It was pretty easy run last year, other than the finals where we almost blew against the Magic. But other than that, we dominated the West. So let's see if that continues here. Game 1 goes to us over Portland. Game 2 goes to the Blazers, though. Game 3 goes to the Blazers. Game 4 goes to the Blazers. We might be in trouble. So we might not go back-to-back. I thought we were in a great spot, but apparently not. The Blazers may have our number after we beat them pretty easily in the Western Conference Finals last year. So this is definitely a flip of the dime on us, but let's see if we can come out here and win this one to stay alive, and we will win Game 5. So we're not dead yet, just got to win a couple more in a row, and then, hey, we're still in here. So even come back and win Game 6 to force a Game 7. And maybe we are able to do that, and then no problem at all. And we are going to win Game 6. So it looks like this one wasn't even close. Now for Game 7, back home in Denver, 50 from Barnes to get us to Game 7. Colin is hurt, but should be okay. Now for Game 7 to get to the second round. After going down 3-1, it is a back-and-forth game. This is to keep our defending championship reign alive. And oh my lord, we barely won. Barnes helps us overcome. 54 points from Scotty Barnes, averaging 35 in the first round. We come back from a 3-1 deficit. That was big time. Almost lost there. I think we might have won on a buzzer beater. Let's see. So we did just lose Game 1, by the way. But it might be too late to go back to our play-by-play. Damn, that's a missed opportunity. But okay. Game 1 went to San Antonio, but we do win Game 2. So at least we have that. Now I got to win on the road. Don't do that in Game 3. Let's see if we can do it in Game 4 then. So Game 4, see if we can get a road win. So far, we're definitely not down in the West like we were last year. So there's definitely that. We may have to be a little bit more careful, and it is going to go to San Antonio. So we do find ourselves down 3-1 again. So that's a little disappointing. But the good news is, the one thing I will say, is even if we lose this, I think we can get Scotty Barnes a real co-star in the offseason, because I think IQ's contract getting cut in half is going to open up the window of opportunities, but we'll have to see. 25 from Powell. He has been awesome. Unfortunately, he is out now. But he's not out for the entirety of things, but obviously not having him for this game 6 could hurt us, and it is going to be a competitive game 6. They've had to lead most of it, and I do think the Spurs have got us. Okay, so we do not go back-to-back, which definitely sucks, but I do want to go one more offseason here and try to get Barnes a legitimate co-star, because we didn't really have that this year, so that could change things a little bit. Here are your retirements. Kawhi's going to retire a Raptor. Damian Lillard retiring in Atlanta, but let's go straight to the lottery. So this won't matter for us because we don't have our pick. Well, yeah, so Thunder have our pick in this draft, and then you do have Adelman, who, I mean, yeah, I'll probably keep him. We've been the first in the West 2 years in a row and just won a championship, so I think he's earned his right to stay, even though there's probably a better coach that I can get, but we'll go with him. Brazil, he probably won't matter too much. I'm just going to decline it, and then qualifying offers will decline both of those. Okay, so IQ, what are you asking for? He's only asked for $8 million. That's perfect. So we'll bring IQ back, and we actually have some cap room as well. So we do actually have the money to sign someone legitimate here. So we could actually go for somebody better than IQ. Maybe that is the best thing to do, and maybe we're still able to keep him. I don't know. But you do have like LaMelo Ball, which obviously LaMelo and Scotty Barnes could be a ton of fun. Might have to go with that. Yeah, let's do it, man. I think as far as like the best guard you can go grab, LaMelo definitely sticks out as someone who is gettable, and I don't think we should think twice about this. So we're going to get LaMelo Ball to pair him with Scotty Barnes. He has no other offers, and I think we should be able to afford IQ still as well. So that's going to make Colin a little bit more expandable. So I think we can afford both. LaMelo and IQ both bring them in. Awesome stuff. So IQ is going to go to more of a bench role, which obviously he did back in New York. And now we can trade Colin for probably something a little bit different as a wing player as a backup. So if we move Colin, we can get Claxton or Tyson. Tyson sounds good. I might go with that. But we'll see if we like anything else. Sensabaugh. Definitely has some offers here for a lot of guys I wouldn't mind bringing in. Kobe Walter, AJ Mitchell. They need backup point guard. Gobert. Guess that could make Gafford more expendable if we brought in Gobert as a backup. But Gafford's on a minimum now, so I don't know. But Gobert, Mark Williams is a rotation. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're going to do that. So that definitely gives us a better backup center in Gobert. And then Gafford, of course, like I said, he's not making a ton of money. But we can still get Tyson, so we might go with that. Or Jet Howard, who, could space. Ooh, he actually played really well last year. And we get a first-round pick. Let's do it. So we'll get Jet Howard instead. So Jet Howard, we're going to slide him to the 3, since he's tall enough for that. And he's 6'8". Maybe space the floor a little bit, even though I don't think he's worked out in the NBA too much. Okay, so now we just need to bring in some bench pieces. So shooting guard, Cedric Coward, Nicole Alexander Walker sitting here. If we can get Nickel, I'd be fine with that. And yes, we do. And then power forward, Shampenny or Rasheer Fleming or Rui. Sounds great to me. And we get Shampenny. So I think that offseason could not have gone any better. Daniels is down, Strother is up, but this is going to be Barnes' strongest roster yet. So I think we've put ourselves in a great spot. And obviously IQ's contract being cut in half or just gone immediately open up the window to sign LaMelo. And then Brown's contract eventually leaving the station as well. So yeah, I have a great feeling about next year. But so Jokic does get MVP for the Raptors again. AJ Williams Rookie of the Year in Detroit. Giddey is your 6th man. Wemby is your depoy. And Spears is your most improved in Utah. And Tatum's your clutch player. Adelman's your coach of the year as we continue to win 60-plus games every year. But of course, we have our eyes set on trying to win another championship after we got Scotty Barnes some more help. So he doesn't make an All-NBA team this time because of LaMelo being here. So that obviously sucks a little bit. But I did just see Dyson Daniels on there, I believe. So here were your player stats. You had, he did miss a 65 games requirement, so that's kind of probably what happened there. But yeah, 29 from Scotty Barnes, 23 from LaMelo, 15 from IQ, 14 from Strother, 12 and 9 from Mark Williams, 11 from Jet Howard. So, of course, we are after a championship here, so let's go see if we can do just that. We get to play the Utah Jazz in round 1. We went home pretty early, round 2 last year. So let's see. And we almost lost round 1, but now we play Utah in round 1, beat them by 24 there. We're up 2-0. We're up 3-0, and we will beat them in 4. And now to play the Portland Trailblazers, who obviously almost eliminated us. And Daniels no, he's just on the bench. Okay, so Dyson Daniels on the bench, but seems like we're still healthy as we're up 1-0. We're up 2-0, so this is going much smoother so far anyway. 3-1, and we beat them in 5. So yeah, much smoother compared to what last year was. We're back in the conference finals. Go see if we beat the Mavericks, who at this point, who have Jamal Murray. Okay. Who's down to all. Is he hurt or is he just regressed that much? Maybe he's really regressed that much. Yeah, he sure has. Damn. So I think we got rid of him at the best time. So, okay. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And Game 4 goes to us. Very smooth. And we do get to play Toronto Raptors. I think this is the best way that you could possibly think to end this video. So obviously we made the trade earlier with the Raptors. And now we meet them up in the NBA Finals, which is kind of crazy. So obviously Kawhi's not there anymore. But you do have Garland, I guess, as that secondary option to Jokic. But all that matters, of course, is trying to bring home a championship. Game 1 does go to us. Jokic playing his former team, but it looks so far he doesn't stand a chance as we are going to go up 2-0, 3-0 actually right now on this Raptors team. Let's see if we can win in 4, or is this going to another game here? And it does kind of look like it's going to another game. We almost come back there, but unfortunately we did not. So he's got to win one more time. This time we're at home in Denver, and we shall see if we can make it happen in Game 5, celebrate in front of these home fans. And guys, it is 2 championships in this video, and this one seemed to have been pretty freaking easy. So 1:36 left in this game. We're up 40. So yeah, I did not expect this video to go so, like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know who I was going to be trading Jokic for going into this. I knew Scotty Barnes is a pretty damn good sim player at times, but I did not expect to, you know, win a championship immediately the year after trading Jokic. That was never on my bingo card. I never would have predicted that. So the Raptors have the ball. IQ's got Jalen. Yeah, this is probably going to be a mismatch. And Jalen Smith makes it. Okay, so 98 to 136. I do want to make one shot before we get out of here. Of course, as always, I'll let you guys watch Championship Celebration. And my Madden channel, just to plug that while we're waiting, even though there's nothing else really to wait on. But my Madden channel will be back in full swing. It's been kind of slow paced over there, but Madden 27 is officially out. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a video out as early as I wanted to. But once we get our first Madden 27 video up, we are back to every other day uploads on that channel. And there we go. I got my layup. So I don't know how I got that past Jalen Smith, but I did. But yeah, so if you want to check out my Madden channel, links down in the description below. We'll be back in full force over there. Every other day rebuilds just like on this channel. So you'll see a rebuild from me every freaking day. Back on a regular scheduled programming. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank y'all for watching. On the road to 50,000 subs. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Jokic being traded away was a success. Crushables, enjoy the celebration if you choose to. I'm saying peace.